as amended by Sub-House Bill 197. The public may observe this meeting on YouTube and on Cleveland Channel 20. For more information, go to Cleveland City Council's website.
What's that? In the restroom. You on or not?
Mr. Chairman, I can't hear you.
I don't know what's happening with this thing. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Shall I call the roll?
Yes, please. Oh, there you go. I'm back.
Johnson.
Here.
Jones. Bishop. Brancatelli.
Here.
Hairston. Casey.
Present.
Mooney.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
Okay. Resolution number 691-2020 by council members B. Jones, Johnson, and Brancatelli by departmental request, declaring an intent to vacate portions of East 65th Place, extending from Lexington Avenue to Quimby Avenue. Director?
Director's not here. Rick Switowski, Manager of Engineering Construction. Good morning, everybody. The Cleveland Public Library is in the process of designing a new Huff branch that will be built on the property they intend to acquire from the city's land bank at the corner of East 66th and Lexington. There's an alleyway called East 66 Place that runs north and south between Lexington and Quimby. The parcels that Cleveland Library intends to acquire are located on either side of East 66 Place. The alley is no longer being used for access and is unimproved. We have the consent of Council Member Bashir Jones.
Anybody got any questions about 691? Without objection, ordinance number 691-2020 stands approved. Ordinance number 783-2020 by Council Members McCormick, Brancatelli, Johnson, and Kelly by departmental request to amend sections 1, 2, 3, and 6 and 7. Ordinance number 330-2019 passed April 29th, 2019, relating to granting to the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District certain easement rights and property at Clark Field necessary for whereas West 3rd Quigley Westerly Miscellaneous CSO Control Project. Director?
Hello, Councilman. James DeRosa here, City of Cleveland, Commissioner of Real Estate for Director Cox today. So this particular sewer relief project will alleviate flooding due to insufficient capacity in the sewers. And they're redirecting smaller sewers into larger sewers that have the capacity to take on the flow. And this particular relief sewer will be diverted through Clark Field, where WPC already has a line. Now, back in 2019, we passed an ordinance to sell easements for this project, but the sewer district went out to bid twice, and they were unsuccessful in receiving a good price for the project. And in the meantime, the EPA had been remediating Clark Field, as we know. And so the EPA has since, they were so close to finishing the remediation that the sewer district needed to change how they were going to construct this project so that they didn't cut through the earth that the EPA just remediated. So the point of this amendment is to change the legal descriptions because they've changed how they're going to execute the project, and also to change the cost since the size of the easements are changing. Then the value of the easements, are changed as well. What they're going to do instead of open cut is they're going to reline that existing sewer so that the only open cut they have is over by West 11th Street and not through the center of Clark Field. Just like before, the towpath trail will not be impacted. The city's future park improvement plan, which goes into, we're hoping to renovate Clark Field next year, that also will not be impacted because they're going to finish up their work this fall and over the winter time. So the two easements that they need are one temporary easement and one permanent easement. Both are relatively small in size, and the value of those easements are $4,920. And so just to remind council as well, back in 2018, they swapped the Clarence Van Duzer property on Merwin Avenue in the Flats for easements around the city. And this is the last ordinance that will relate to that land swap. So the value of the easements are $4,920. And they had a credit of $804 left. So the sale price here is $4,116.
Jamie, the distance between the middle of the field and where they're going to install this, how far is it?
Well, this sewer does go through it. So, you know how there was the drive off of West 11th that was the main drive to Clark Field?
Right.
The sewer runs underneath that drive. But what they're
Okay.
going to do is they're going to reline it instead of open cutting through the park.
Okay.
Yep.
Anybody else got any questions about 783? Without objection, ordinance number 783-2020 stands approved. Ordinance number 784-2020 by Council Members Johnson and Kelly by departmental request, authorizing the Director of Public Works to enter into an agreement with the Waste Collection Parker Vehicle rental agreement contract number MA 1505 ECD 2020-4 with Rush Truck Leasing Incorporated, doing businesses Rush Refuse Systems, to extend the term of the additional 4 months. Director?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. We're asking for permission to expend $106,500 to extend our lease on the rental trucks that we have for waste collection that we entered into in January of this year. We sent 5 of the trucks back already, but we need to keep 4 of the trucks until the end of January, at least to the end of January, which would come to about $106,000. We also, for the committee's information, we also received 4 new Packers last week. And so we'll put those in play and replace those 4 with the 4 that we kept on from the rental company. So we ask permission to extend that lease for 4 months.
Director, are you going to lease from them again?
No, sir. Mr. Chairman, no, sir. We again, as I said earlier, we received 4 new trucks. We'll be ordering some more trucks in this 2021 budget cycle for waste collection, and we are getting our fleet up to speed.
Okay. Anybody got any questions about 784?
Mr. Chairman.
Oh,
Yes. Tony?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's good to hear the Packers are doing well. They got the same record as the Browns. Sorry. Have we done our? I know we're still sending 2 sets of trucks down for kind of the fall recycle and the regular waste collection. Have we put together the RFP yet for our recycling? We were supposed to get some information back on our next steps for recycling, and are going out to bid for finding vendors.
we have, sir. I think we came. Darnell Brown came to this committee or another committee and talked about where we're at with the RFP and getting that RFP on the street. We are in the process now of the proposal being looked at, our waste collection system being looked at. So we have not got any conclusions. I think there is a briefing coming to this city council on whether with the consultants that I will get a date for you, Councilman, on when Chief Brown is setting that up. I will have that date for you this week.
Okay. Well, I will work with. I mean, it's the chairman's committee. Work with the chairman and the timing on when that comes to us. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Chairman.
I don't see any other hands.
Mr. Chairman.
784-2020 stands approved. Yes. Who's that?
It's Brian Casey.
You're not showing up on me, Brian. Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, to the director, how many, the four that we just got in, the 4 trucks that we just got in, did we purchase those? Are those purchased? And we own those 4?
Yes, we purchased those trucks out of the 2020 capital program.
Okay. And then these trucks here that we're leasing again, do you know how much they are to purchase?
I can get that too. We did get a purchase price for these trucks. If at the end of the lease period, I will get that information. I don't have it in front of me, but there was a purchase price.
Okay. And we're not leasing these to own, correct? Or
No,
is there-
sir, we were not leasing to own. We were just leasing for a period of time.
And do you anticipate these trucks being done and all caught up at the end of January? You don't anticipate this coming back again, do you?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay.
Again, we got the 4 trucks that we replaced, new trucks that we're replacing these 4 with.
All right. And are all 4 of these trucks that we're leasing operable? None of them
Yes.
are down or anything, are they?
Chairman, none of them are down at to this point right now. I'm not.
Knock
I'm
on
not
wood.
Sure,
Right.
but they have not been down. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Without objection, ordinance number 784-2020 is now approved. Ordinance number 812-2020 by council members Johnson and Kelly by department request, authorizing the Director of Public Works to apply for and accept a grant from the Ohio Department of Education for the 2021 Summer Food Service Program, authorizing the purchase by requirement contract, breakfast and lunches and food products, beverages, condiments, paper products, and to implement the grant for the Division of Recreation, Department of Public Works, and authorizing the director to contact with various nonprofit organizations for the implementation of the program. Director?
Mr. Chairman, to the and the committee, this is in reference to Camp Forbes. As you know, Camp Forbes was not open this year due to the COVID, but we'd like to get ready to prepare just in case we are able to open up our camp in the summer of 2021 to the young people that go out there, the 100 people that go out there. And this is our food service contract that we will enter into where we prepare for the $100,000 grant. We'll go through the process with the state of Ohio and prepare our program. These are prepared meals out there. So we're asking for permission to go through the process and get prepared with the hopes that we are able to work to open up Camp Forbes again to our children in the city of Cleveland.
Director, this is one of our best programs, one of the best programs we've ever had. How many kids did we send last year?
Last year in 2019, sir, we sent close to 900 kids to the camp in an 8-week program.
Okay. We've done this for how many years in a row?
Mr. Chairman, to those that know me and like you, I went to Camp Cleveland. So it's been
Me too.
for the pond, before the pond was a pond. So it's been a long time since Camp Forbes has been operating and giving these kids the opportunity to get into a different environment, into a nice rural environment where they're not dealing with all the trauma and excitement that goes on in the city of Cleveland. So it is a great program. As I said, and Councilman Bragg raised his hands also. I went to Camp Cleveland before it was Camp Forbes. So it's been a long time.
Yeah, we know.
Yes.
The camp is one of the best in the country. And the camp counselors that you hire to work with the kids during the summer is an experience that most of the youngsters that attend Camp Forbes would never, ever receive any other way.
It's an opportunity for young people in college to come home and also get to do some community work with the kids and know the kids and learn them. So we hire the kids out of college, out of universities and colleges to be camp counselors, and they stay out at the camp Monday through Friday, and they stay in the cabins with the young people. So it is a great, again, like you said, it's a good program, great program.
Right. Tony? I can't hear you, Tony. You got to unmute.
Oh, that was my Polensik impersonation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate the putting the food service program on there for Camp Cleveland. You know, hopefully we will be able to utilize the services this summer, but we're all crossing our fingers on this vaccine. I did want to acknowledge the great work that they did in distributing food through our rec centers for people to come grab and goes. Those are vitally important, and hopefully, even if we are having these issues this summer, we can still be able to carry on those grab and go food programs throughout this summer as the need just continues to get higher and higher. So thank you, Director.
Yes, sir. It is our intention to continue with the grab and go. We're still doing it now at the school meals, and we intend to do the same thing in the summer with grab and go for young people to take meals home. So thank you, sir. Dude, what is that? What is that? What happened, Kim? I don't know what that is. Mr. Chairman, that's not me running for anything. I'm not running for anything. I don't know what that is that popped up on the screen. I can see myself back there. Thank you.
What was that?
Councilman Jones, I don't know. I look like a campaign poster. I was thinking about running for council or something.
You probably win too.
Not
With that
against you.
smile and face, that would be the photo shot right there.
Not against you, sir. I don't know how that popped up, sir. I apologize.
Hey, I don't know. I know you guys were talking out in the neighborhood, so it'd be nice when you do come out there, you let me know.
That would be fine.
Right, because I didn't get that, and that would be nice. Good consideration from you guys to let me know when you're out there speaking in my neighborhood.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Okay. Without a, when my thing is moving again.
Here you go.
Without objection, ordinance number 812-2020 stands approved. Ordinance number 821-2020 by Council Members McCormick, Johnson, Brackatelli, and Kelly by department request, authorizing the Director of Public Works to enter into a license agreement with the Convention and Visitors Bureau of Greater Cleveland Incorporated, doing business as Destination Cleveland, to use and occupy city-owned property and ongoing maintenance of a pedestrian wayfinding sign at the Lakefront Municipal Parking Lot for an initial term of 3 years, and automatically renewing year to year unless terminated by either party. Director?
Jamie, you want to handle this, or you have?
Yes, sir. I'm here ready. Mr. Chairman, this is a housekeeping ordinance. Back in 2019, last summer, Destination Cleveland added one of their pedestrian wayfinding signs that we have throughout the city at the municipal parking lot. And it's in the parking lot property and not in the right of way. And so we need to issue them an agreement to allow that sign to remain there. So the agreement here would be a license agreement that would be a 3-year agreement and then renew from year to year thereafter. They paid for all the costs of the sign, and there's no cost to enter into this agreement for the city. So we're seeking approval to move forward with that license agreement.
Anybody got any questions about the sign remaining? Without objection, ordinance number 821-2020 stands approved. Ordinance number 823-2020 by Council Members Griffin, Johnson, and Kelly by department request, authorizing the Director of Public Works to enter into a license agreement with the Italian American Brotherhood Club or its designee to design, build, install, and maintain a statue of Rocco Dominico, Rocky Calavito, on city-owned property in Tony Brush Park for an initial term of 3 years, automatically renewing year to year unless terminated by either party. Director?
Commissioner, go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, so this is, as you said, a life-size bronze statue of Rocky Colavito, the baseball legend, that would be installed in Tony Brush Park, which is in Little Italy. There's 2 plazas right on the edge of Tony Brush Park on Random Road, and this would be on the one that's sort of more, off of Mayfield and a little bit further south on Random. And so it's an existing plaza. They're going to put in the statue and then a like a baseball diamond area with donor bricks. And so they're fabricating the statue now. It's been through landmarks, and we're hoping to, they're hoping to have this installed in the spring. The Italian American Brotherhood Club are the ones who are going to maintain and pay for the statue. And there would be no cost to this license agreement for the benefit that the community would have to enjoy the statue.
Councilman Griffin on board with this, right?
Yep, that's my understanding, Councilman
Yes, it was
or
made aware.
Director. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, anybody got any questions? Without objection,
Mr. Chairman,
what's your question, Joe?
the question is, how much is this costing the city of Cleveland?
There's no cost to the city of Cleveland.
There's no
Councilman.
cost.
Well, Mr. Chairman, is the city of Cleveland maintaining this particular project?
No.
Chairman, the city will not, the city will do in the agreement, the maintenance and repair of anything that goes on with the statue will be included in the agreement. Mr. Chairman, to the council.
So do we know what that potentially could be, Mr. Chairman, to the director?
No, we do not, sir. But all those costs will be assumed by the Italian American Brotherhood.
Okay, so the American Brotherhood is going to be responsible for the maintenance, Mr. Chairman, to the director?
Yes, sir. That's what we're going to do an agreement with.
Oh, I see. So, and they're using city-owned land for this purpose?
It is the property is owned by the city of Cleveland. There's a park there. There's a park that we had that we've maintained for years. It's called Tony Brush Park. And where they have now, they have a sundial at this location right now that they will be removing and putting the statue of Rocky Calavito.
Right. And Mr. Chairman, do we know to the director or the commissioner, did they give us a breakdown of how much it's costing to erect it and put it up there?
No, I have not gotten that, sir.
Okay. So do we know if the city had an opportunity to review those costs? And the reason why I'm asking, Mr. Chairman, to the director is, there's a number of African-American leaders in our community. It would be really nice if we could talk about showcasing and learning from this and being able to erect statues up to men and women who have made a powerful and profound impact in our city, in our communities.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, to the councilman. Mr. Councilman Chair, we can talk about how that's done. Commissioner DeRosa and I would like to, we'll be glad to get on a phone call with you. This is not the only place that we have a statue. In Luke Easter Park, there's a statue of Luke Easter. We named the street Larry Doby Way. I mean, there are statues in a lot of parks or a lot of plaques in parks. So if you like to offline to have a conversation on how this is done, we will gladly talk to you. The commissioner will gladly have a conversation with you, a conference call with you.
Okay, great. We can do that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, to the director and the commissioner.
Without objection, in ordinance number 823-2020 stands approved. Ordinance number 825-2020 by Council Members Johnson and Kelly by Department of Request, authorizing the Director of Public Works and of Finance to employ one or more temporary employment agencies to provide professional services to supply temporary and seasonal personnel for the Department of Public Works and the Project Clean Program and for various other departments in the city for a period of up to 1 year. Director?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. This is our yearly legislation that allows us to go out and seek professional service contracts to staff our seasonal workers to work in our vacant properties program. The program has been going on for some years now, but we have to come back every year to ask about going out to get this personal service contract. Last year's contract was with Snyder Blake in an amount of $4.5 million. That is some general fund money. It's some CDBG block grant money, and about 4 or 5 council people also put on crews of their own with some of their own discretionary funds. I did get a call from a email from Councilman Polinsky, who we'll be working with next year. I didn't know if he's on now or not, but we'll be working with him next year. He wants to see about a crew. So presently we have crews in Ward 1, Ward 5, Ward 9, and Ward 10 that the council members of those wards use discretionary funds. I'm not sure what they are, but they use discretionary funds to put on their own ward crews. Those ward crews work alongside of our crews as we go through the city. We try to get through the city 4 times a year to clean up. You know, we had some problems at the first of last year. I want to assure you that after that meeting, that we no longer had any issues, and it took some for me getting my hands around that program, that hands-on program. Normally I'm just sitting there giving orders, but this year I had to get out there, put my blue jeans on and check on this stuff. So after the second visit, after the second round, we were in pretty good shape. I want to say to this committee that we serviced around 95,000 vacant properties this year. We did service visits, we didn't do 95,000, we did 95,000 service visits. We are in the process of re-looking at the subdivisions by which they cut these lots. I will have a meeting before the end of this month with everyone involved, and we will no longer split a subdivision down Kinsman Avenue or Union Avenue or Broadway Avenue. If they go cut Bartlett Avenue, they go cut both sides of Bartlett Avenue and not leave one side. So those are some of the things we're going to do and make sure that this thing does not happen in the spring again. It was humbling. Believe me, it was humbling when that grass was like that. It took a lot out of me, and I'm getting older, Councilman Johnson, and that's a lot of work. But you got to do it. And I appreciate your patience. I appreciate the council's patience, and it was not something that we were proud of. And I appreciate your patience in it, but we will make sure that those things don't happen this first and spring of this year, 21. Thank you for your time.
Director, you guys did a great job after the second round, and we expect the same thing this year. Not the same thing with the first round. But the second round. Have we hired a commissioner yet?
Mr. Chairman, no, we have not. We've had some interviews. We've had about 6 or 7 interviews for people.
Okay.
Looking to, we're going to break that down to our top 3 candidates and move them along through the system. So we are looking for that commissioner to be hired probably in the first quarter of 2021.
Okay.
Everything slowed down to,
Yeah, I know. Anybody got any questions about the lots?
Mr. Chairman.
Oh.
Yes, Joe.
Mr. Chairman, it's really good to see that the director, is acknowledging that there's some problems in the system. As you are well aware of, my position here on the issue is I've suffered for the last 3 years. Our community has suffered for the last 6 years as relates to, or even more, the inability of the department to be able to cut and maintain vacant lots and vacant structures. It has devastated the east side of the city of Cleveland, in particular our community, to such a degree where residents who are seeking to just get these lots cut it's pretty much decimated their concept of the city and its ability to be able to just cut a lot. And demoralize them to such a degree that we've even had people move out of the neighborhood just because they couldn't get a lot cut next to them. And others, saying, hey, can't you get this lot cut? Why can't this lot get cut quicker than this? And various different families having various events during the holidays or anniversaries, and we can't get this done. And, I have, put money up each year into this program, to try to have crews that can get out here and really cut this. But I've been hampered with that up until this last year, where I've, for the most part, tried to get hands down on this issue and kind of look in at what is the situation. Why are we so broken in this department? And $4 million is a lot of money. And my assessment of the program is that the people who we're getting, whoever is responsible for giving us people are not giving us the right people who come with an attitude of wanting to work. Going down there, I've been down in that substation probably the total of 60 times just this year, because I wanted to personally have an assessment and understand what is going on. And from my assessment, you have a breakdown on basically every single level, from the top of the management right on down to the supervisors, to the people who are responsible to training these people to work the equipment. And I tell you, I submit to you, it's a liability issue for the city of Cleveland when you send people out to these lots and they don't know how to cut these lots and they don't know how to work this equipment. And for an elected official to get out there on the lots and show them how to work the equipment, it's embarrassing to say the least. And some of these people, their attitudes are horrible, trying to get them to do the work and cut the work. Equipment, when it comes to our basic equipment in these facilities, we need the equipment really bad. My assessment on the equipment side is that we don't have new equipment. We're using old equipment. The equipment is breaking down, and we have people or employees or seasonals. And one guy, he intentionally broke 3 lawnmowers, and we were unable to get a lawnmower out here on my crew to cut. So I went as far as asking John James, can we get a riding lawnmower? As of to this day, I don't have a riding lawnmower for my crew. Good equipment is paramount. And when it comes to weed whackers, not having the plastic tips, because those plastic tips run out and wear out, not having those in stock, not having equipment that works, and not having an abundance of equipment, in my assessment, has put us behind. So now you have cruisers out there we're paying salaries to, but they don't have the equipment to do the work. Their equipment is broken down, they're idled. So now I'm paying for men that should be on these lots working and getting this work done, and they can't get it done because one or two things: they don't have the equipment, or they purposely broke the equipment. So we have those kinds of issues with personnel. That needs to be made right. If it continues the way it is right now, we'll continue this season having the same problems that we had last season. I think at the very beginning of the season, we need to really be beefing up so that we can get ahead of this curve. We know that in April, May, and June, those are the busiest months where the grass grows the most, and we know it's going to be wet, and we need to be able to have the proper equipment getting down on these vacant lots and getting the work done without getting stuck. And so the best way to do that is have that proper equipment, and that's having riding lawnmowers. And so, hopefully, we can get it right this year. But there's a lot of work that needs to be done from the management top on down, and how we account for our workers, how our workers, if they're working or not, and then our supervisors. If our supervisors are not on top of their game, then we're going to have problems, because our employees that we're getting are coming from this agency, and I don't know where we're getting these people from, but they're the worst of the worst, some of them. And so that's my assessment. And just that analysis and snapshot, I do have a report that I can give to you, which breaks everything down. The second issue that I think is really important that we need to look at is, if we can't get that done, we need to start looking at ways and means and putting up a contracting out these issues. We can do this work with contracting out. We can save the city. That $4 million, that we're paying into this program, probably cut that in probably a third of that, which would save the city a lot of money. If we start subcontracting this work out, we can do a pilot program. I have a system that you can set up. So it's a commercial system, pilot programming, where we can go out here and get this work done a lot cheaper, a lot faster, and we can make our citizens happy. All we have to do is pick up a phone call, so and so and so, get out here to these lots over here and take care of this lot, okay, or take care of this zone, or zone off and contract, and we can get those lots cut twice a month. and have them down where we're not having issues when it comes to the month of April, May, and June. By the time July, August, and September roll around here, it's hot season. Grass doesn't grow as much. Our biggest issue, and what I've seen in my neighborhood in terms of the level and the volume of the complaints, have happened in those months. And then at the end of the day, unfortunately, as elected officials who are getting these calls coming in, we are left helpless and can't get anything done unless we personally go out there ourselves and take care of it. And that's the reason why you're seeing East Side council members work with trying to get and pay money into a program that we shouldn't be paying into, because it's poorly operated and managed, and it needs to change. And I'm sorry if those words are harsh. That is my assessment of the program, and the morale of the program, the morale of the people are demoralized because they don't have the equipment and the ability and the capacity to do anything much of anything in this department as relates to my assessment at this point. They're waiting on equipment. They don't have it. They've been promised to have the equipment and they're still not getting it. I don't know why they're not getting the equipment, because I sit at this table like the rest of our colleagues, and we voted for this equipment. The question is, why aren't they getting the equipment? And that would be my question to the chairman, Mr. Chairman, to the director. Why aren't we getting the equipment down there to do this work?
Mr. Chairman, to the councilman, we purchased 10 brand new riding mowers last year for the for this program. We got them in last year. We used them. Equipment was there. Every year we go out, we buy new small equipment, which is our weed whackers and some push mowers and things of that nature. So we are continuing to upgrade and get as much equipment as we can out of our capital budget. The staffing is a thing that we do through a staffing agency. And when we find people that do not work, we let them go. We don't have to go through any kind of pre-dis. We don't have to go through any kind of anything. We just let them go. So, but that means that we got to backfill those people. So it is an ongoing issue about people working and knowing how to work. But our biggest issue is always, and I say this in the mayor tells me, supervision, and make sure that people are working. So we are working on fixing all those things that you talked about, and we will get them done.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I hear what you're saying, but that's not happening right now. It sounds great, but it is not happening. And the reason why it's not happening is I had to deal with a guy on 3 separate occasions who broke 3 lawnmowers down. I told the boss that this guy purposely broke these lawnmowers down. He purposely broke them. Why do you still have a guy who's still working for you and he's damaging the equipment? This guy still works for you guys. And so I brought that to your supervisor. There was other people who come on there. They did not know how to do it. The supervisor is supposed to show them how to work this equipment. They didn't know how to work the equipment. So I had to ask them, how did you get trained to work the equipment? Oh, we went through a training video. What? A training video. Okay, so tell me about this training video. And so as we went into the training video, that's all they get. They get a training video for the most of them, and that's it. They may show them how to start the equipment up, and they let them roll. And so that, and then these people, excuse me, I don't know if I broke up there. Did I break up there? Hello, Mr. Chairman? Mr. Chairman. Hello? Can you hear me, anybody?
I can.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Great. All right, great. So I'm having
Joe is having technical difficulties, looks like, because I can't hear him.
I have a question, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, Brian, what's your question?
If I can jump in until Joe gets back, is that okay?
Sure, go ahead.
Director Cox, I gotta say, I really enjoyed, I utilized that help for the program you're talking about, and I can't rave enough how great they are and how fantastic they are, and they've been very responsive. But this is my question. You said that you contract with this with a combination of block grant monies and other monies?
Mr. Chairman, to the comment, that's correct. The $4.5 million is made up of general fund money in an amount of about $3 million and CDBG funds in an amount of about 1.2.
Okay. My question then is, when me and other councilmen have to pay for this service, which I wish we didn't, but we do, and it is a good service, why can't we pay with block grant money? Why do they want my casino money? If you're paying with block grant, why can't I pay you guys block grant money for my crew?
Mr. Chairman, to the councilman, I have no idea how that money is paid. I didn't know what you were paying it with. That's not what I do. I try to get the work done. So I'm not sure how the finance work with council or which funds are eligible to pay with your crew. I'm not sure. That's something that John James could help you with, but I couldn't tell you.
The answer to that question, Brian, is that the feds will not reimburse for the city to cut vacant lots.
Well, but what he's saying is that we're paying it, part of it with block grant money right now.
The block grant money, councilman, is for these vacant lots are owned by the city of Cleveland, and they are under the control of community development, as I think you know. And those are the lots that money is put in to cut those lots.
No, but I'm saying my crew cuts city lots. And if you can use block grant money, why can't I? They're doing the same thing. I'm just paying to get extra service to doing what you're already doing.
Mr. Chairman, to the councilman, again, I don't have any idea why or what the purpose is of casino bonds or block grant money that you guys have discretionary monies for. I think John James in your shop is the one who deals with that. I cannot.
Well, no, I'm asking how you're able to use block grant money for it. I'm not concerned about, I know our question is, why do we have to use casino money? But you're using block grant money to do some of this work. So my question is, why can't we? And that's more of a question, I guess I have to ask finance, why you're able to do it, but we're not.
That would be, I would advise you, sir, if you really have to have that information, that you would ask finance.
But I got to tell you, Todd Alexander and Denise, they're great. They've been very responsive, very happy with them. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Brian, can you?
Mr. Chairman, I'm back.
Hold on, Joe. Brian, go ahead.
All right, thanks, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, to the director, I know last year this was a little contentious, this piece of legislation. And that is, how many times does the city come through and cut the vacant lots citywide?
Mr. Chairman, to the councilman, we cut the vacant lots that are clear of any structures 4 times. We cut the vacant structures a minimum of 3 times.
Okay. And then is that same go for the wards that are allocating money, Ward 1, 5, 9, and 10? Because those wards wouldn't need it as much if they have their own crew in there maintaining the properties all along.
Well, Mr. Chairman, to the councilman, those crews are left behind in those wards that you just named to do hot spots, things that we need to get done, whether it's clearing out a vacant structure or cutting a vacant structure that is a problem. So they are left behind until we get back into that ward. As I think we talked before, that we are on a 7-week cycle to get in and out of these wards. We started one end, I started one end of the city and go through the other end. So it's a 7-week cycle. And those ward-based crews are left there to take care of any issues that a council person may have, or things that we need to just continue with them on a systematic basis. We try to do this systematically and go down the street, cut everything on that block, everything. That's what they've been told to do, not to leave anything. I'm not worried about whether it's 6 inches or 8 inches. Cut it, and then we'll be back for the second round in 7 weeks. So they're left there to do that.
I believe the point is if they're left there to do that, why would the city need to come back in on the regular basis. But that being said, we'll leave that. Mr. Director, or Mr. Chairman to the Director, who is Snyder Blake Business Service?
I'm sorry, who is Snyder Blake's business service? They are employment agents.
Okay, and then so is this summer crew that's hired, are they city employees or are they employed by Snyder Blake?
Mr. Chairman, we contract with Snyder Blake and they are Snyder Blake employees.
Okay, so, but they're using city-owned equipment, correct?
Yes, they are.
Okay,
And
and then,
we are in charge of them. We
Okay.
work them. They
then
report to us.
if something happens to the equipment, and it's the response, and it's deemed that one of the Snyder Blake Business Service employees were responsible for negligence, does Snyder Blake Business, according to the contract, are they responsible for replacing or fixing that equipment?
We normally fix it. I will check with law to see what's in that contract,
All
to
right.
see if that's a part of what we can do.
All right, and then part of the legislative purpose of this, it says is passage of this legislation will allow general and enterprise fund allocations to the Division of Park Maintenance to clean and cut vacant lot, vacant structures, parks and cemeteries. What part, Mr. Chairman, to the Director, comes out of the enterprise funds?
Well, enterprise funds, Mr. Chairman, to the council, is probably our cemeteries. We use it in our cemeteries,
Okay.
and that's enterprise fund.
Okay, do we know how much enterprise funds we're using, and why isn't that up in the estimated amount, the enterprise fund amount?
No, sir. I cannot. I get it broken down for you how much, but it depends on what we put in, how many of these employees we put into our cemeteries, which is the only enterprise fund that we use this for.
Can you have the cemetery and enterprise fund for 2020 for us before it goes to finance?
I can get you the breakdown of numbers of people and what it cost us to put those people into our cemeteries.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Joe, are you still there? Now, I still can't hear him.
He on mute, Mr. Chairman. I got one point though.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll yield. I'm here. Thank you. But I'll yield to our distinguished colleague, Anthony Hairston.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate the line of questioning from my colleagues. You know, we've been able to cover some good information, but I will say to the director, one, just a thank you, brother. Consistently, when we've reached out for some issues that we've had in the ward, you all have stepped in and gotten them together. So, Director Cox, I appreciate it. And you got a great team over there, at least the team who's handling the Northeast section of Ward 10. You know, Tamisha is a rock star, always. Todd, your unit leaders. His name is Michael. I'm forgetting his name. Mike, you know which one I'm talking about. It was two Mikes.
McAdams?
Not McAdams. What's the other one? Mike Ingram. Mike Ingram, the new unit leader who was over there. Mike Adams has been there a long time. He's good as well. But you know, our ward was able to experience some really good things under the co-unit leader, Mike Ingram, who came in and really showed out for us on the northeast side over here. And so, trust me, the residents paid attention. They recognized it, and they were absolutely appreciative of the work and the level of work that had been done over in the community. So again, the team over at Humphrey really showed up and has been great for our neighborhood. So I just want to tell you and the crew, if they're listening, thank you, thank you, thank you.
That was a compliment directed toward Director Cox, right?
That's a compliment directed towards those people that do that hard work out there. They work hard.
They're only as good as their leader, Director.
Yeah, they work hard.
That's right. They work hard with a fearless leader like Director
It's
Cox.
not nicest work in the world, but it's work.
Absolutely.
Those that don't, we try to get rid of them. Okay.
Joe, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, and what I was saying is that, you know, I concur with Director Cox that the second portion of the program, you know, we didn't have the kind of complaints that come in. As you know, our neighborhood is a very demanding neighborhood. And so they demand all kinds of stuff. Sometimes, you know, I'm running around doing stuff, trying to get things done in the neighborhood because of the ongoing process of calls coming in on issues. And so on that second half of the season, I concur, it was a much better, smoother process. But my question is, Mr. Chairman, I know we talked about this, is that somehow we can increase the program to deal with those areas where we have the higher volume of lots? Because I know all of the city of Cleveland don't experience the same as other parts of the city of Cleveland. Is there some way we can get more cruises in those areas where the demands, like in the Lee Harbor Ward 1 area, where we just seem to just have so many of these vacant lots that are coming up in our area, in addition to our housing, our vacant housing issue? Because I think, Director, how many houses and lots do we have that are vacant? Almost at least a good 1,000 in our neighborhood, or two?
You may have.
Do we know?
You may have 1,015. I'm not sure the exact number, Councilman Jones, from Council Committee. I'm not sure the exact number. But what we do is we do redeploy our crews when we have some wards that don't have as many. We will move those crews into wards that have more. So that's part of what we'll be doing in our new planning structure, getting crews, understanding how we start off the year, where that is starting off the year with most or majority of our crews in those heavy vacant lot areas, and then go through. But we're again, I'm having a meeting to make sure that whatever we can do to expedite the cutting in that first 3 months, those first 3 months when the rainy season is, that we will be working on that plan, and I will bring that plan back to this body. The other issue with the staffing is that we lose 60 to 70% of that staff every year, either by termination or not showing up for work or whatever, right? And so we're hiring new staff mostly every year, which causes some problems with training. So we have to start all over again with the staff. So it is what we have to do to get this done. So there are some concerns in the program that I will address. I've taken notes on all of your issues, and we will address those issues.
And Mr. Chairman, and thank you to the director. And we do have, and it's not all a negative report. I think when Todd got in there, he did a fantastic job in assisting me. We sent information over to him, and his people tried to do the best they can to address it as fast as they can address it, given the fact that they're doing so much throughout this zone. And Tamisha has been excellent too. So we, I do give shout out and kudos to those folks who do really work hard. And then you have a gentleman that's in the cage. I don't know his name, but he does an outstanding job as well in terms of trying to make sure that we do, if we do get equipment, he tried to make sure that we get the equipment if we need it, if it's available. So they do their best with what they have down there. So we're appreciative, and we've been able to, like, we have a major issue in our community with illegal dumping. And so I just want to thank your guys for getting a quicker response on that second half to the illegal dumping that's going on in our neighborhood. It's quite, a revelation for us over here. In some instances, epic in terms of the loads that are being dumped. And so we've been working with Detective Ezzo to try to get cameras down. But as fast as, and I don't need to tell you, because I'm quite sure you already know this, as fast as they're dumping in one parts of the city, they're, in our neighborhood, they're dumping in other parts. And it's like a always every week thing with me and all of this mess that's going on. So I would love to work with you, Mr. Chairman, and the director. How do we strengthen our existing laws so that we could have fines and fees in place that discourage, and I know we have up to 1,000, but we're going to have to look at ways and means to discourage these people from dumping in our city, because it's having a huge and profound negative impact on us. So I just wanted to share that. I don't know if you have any comments on that, Director, because I know that you deal with a lot of illegal dumping in the city of Cleveland, and I know that it takes up a lot of your manpower to have to go and deal with that.
Yeah. Only, Mr. Chairman, to the council, that we picked up over 4,000 dumping locations this year already, and we will continue to pick them up during the winter. We'll cut back on the number of crews we have. We had 6 crews out there picking up illegal dump sites. but we'll cut back to 3 because we're now getting into our leaf season, then into our snow season, because we're working both parks and streets on this dumping. So it is a major issue, and Sergeant Ezra does a good job, and my crews out there every day picking up this dumping. So thank you, sir.
And Mr. Chairman, lastly, on this issue here, is there somehow we could move resources and money, add additional funds, so that we can, like the small amounts of money that I have is so fleeting. So the 50,000 that we do give is a lot of money. Is there some kind of way we could add to the budget in those high capacity zones, like my neighborhood that has an enormity of vacant lots? We could add money so that we could have individualized cruises versus it coming out of our small amount of resources that we get.
Joe, the council president is looking into the possibility of trading some money so that we can give them block grant money and they can give us different money. And that will, I don't want to put a time limit on him, but it will probably be done the end of April. Whether or not how we can do it. So, but we're going to have a hearing on vacant lots and all that stuff anyway before they start again.
I see. Well, that would be great, Mr. Chairman. I really appreciate your leadership, and I really appreciate the leadership of Cox. Even though you may hear me come down hard, is only, well, not hard, but just telling it like it is. Matter of fact, is because the people in my constituency out here, they're on me like matter of fact, and a lot of the times they want these things taken care of right away, as you are aware of being in the council and being the dean of council. These folks need to get taken care of, and if we could have that service there for them, that helps me to keep this community stabilized. Because if we lose this neighborhood in the city of Cleveland, we've truly lost the east side. And so it has been a struggle for me coming back to the city of Cleveland as a council person for my third tour, and I've worked the hardest this last 3 years than I did all the combined 8 years that I was on council before. It was a smooth ride compared to what I'm dealing with right now, and just the changing process of what's happening in our community. So I really do appreciate the director, because there's times I've had to call the director and he's answered those phone calls, and he's got out in there and taken care of those issues. So I just really appreciate it. But at the end of the day, if we could tighten up the operation, and I appreciate the fact that the focus will be on these first 3 to 4 months on these vacant lots. That's where I received the biggest complaints and the biggest issues. That would be wonderful. And then lastly, if I could get some assistance on some of these trees, and I know it's a lot of money, it costs a lot of money to cut vacant trees down and vacant lots. But I just had, unfortunately, a call over the weekend where the wind blew a vacant tree in a vacant lot over onto a property and demolished the garage and tore a part of the house up and damaged some of the vehicles. So it's really looking bad. So I'm not totally sure who would be responsible for it, or I just know that the lot was vacant. And I know I had complaints from them before concerning the tree in the lot. So I'm hoping that they got homeowners insurance, because the damage is quite extensive. But I don't know if we have any extra funds, Mr. Chairman, that we could even put into taking some of those trees down in some of these places. I'm not sure how we would deal with that. And I don't know how much it costs the city right now to do that. Do we know, Mr. Chairman?
We don't know, but they do have money to take care of the trees in the vacant lots. But I would remind all of my colleagues, when the wind blows or the lightning strikes, it's an act of God. And you might want to look further into that, but I've had that experience in my own yard.
Yes. So,
All right.
so with that being said, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for working on trying to put something together to have a package for next year for these vacant lots in the very different wards that are impacted the most, by these vacant lots.
Okay, thanks for the compliment, Joe. Without objection, ordinance number 825-2020 stands approved. Ordinance number 854-2020 by council members Johnson and Kelly by department request, authorizing the purchase by one or more requirement contract of recycled or virgin asphalt concrete for the Division of Streets, Department of Public Works for a term of 2 years. Director?
Mr. Chairman, this is our contract that we need to go out and purchase our asphalt for our resurfacing program, our residential resurfacing program, and spot repair program through the Division of Streets. It's a 2-year, we're asking for a term of 2 years in the amount of $11,912,000, right? To go back out and get our asphalt concrete that would help us, would allow us to go through and get our residential resurfacing program. The present contract expires on 6/2/2021.
The contract for this doesn't expire until next year, right?
Yes, sir, but it expires, sir, in the
Okay.
middle of our season. So we're asking for legislative approval to go out now, and then we'll have this contract.
Okay, I thought you were earlier. Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Director, are you still in negotiation with one of these plants to stay open all year round?
Yes, we are, sir. I'll get back to you. We should know if they're willing to do for the asphalt plant to stay open and get the hot asphalt. Yes, we should know sometime next week whether they're going to stay open.
Good. I would like that information so I can pass.
I will get that for you.
Okay. Anybody got any questions about the asphalt? Without
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Joe.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director, I got, and I know, I don't know if we're going to, well, maybe you can address this. I know we have inspectors that go out and inspect the streets. And I noticed that Mr. Swistowski, I hope he's still on the line. I see him there. And here's the issue that we're having right now. And I don't know if you could have someone come out. They've been doing Miles Avenue. They've been doing Miles Avenue here. And there is like the seams are very uneven in the street. So we have like 2 of the seams in the street that's very uneven. And it seems like they just didn't taper it off the where it's supposed to be. So, I've gotten complaints about that from the citizens. And I didn't know if you could go and take a look into that for me and see if that's the issue. And if we need to have the contractor who's being paid on that to come back out and get that work done. If we could have
I don't know if Rick Sontowski is still on the phone, but we did have this conversation. I had this conversation with Councilman Bishop, who had the same complaint. And I think Mr. Swintowski, that's a state project. And we had our inspectors go out and look at it, and they were contacting the state of Ohio to come out and see what those issues are. So I can have Mr. Swintowski update you, also Councilman Jones. I'll give him a call if he's not still on the line.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. For that.
Are you there, Rick?
Yes, I am. To the chair, to the council member. Yes, Councilman Bishop alerted us to an issue, I think it was Friday, maybe Thursday. We were out there Friday. We're already engaged in conversations with ODOT exactly how to handle this. We should have a resolution in the next couple of days or 2.
Yeah, and Mr. Chairman, to Mr. Swistowski, I appreciate you guys jumping on it right away. And then there is maybe another potential issue, and I don't know if we're still within our warranty on Harvard Avenue, where there is like what appears to be sinking of the asphalt.
If you have a location for me, council member, we would certainly go out and look.
Yeah, it's right in front of Mr. D's car wash.
We will be out there either today or tomorrow, sir.
And what I'll do is I'll take a look. I'll go out there today to take a look at it too, and then I'll try to take an assessment of it. It's unfortunate, and I know I made this issue available to you guys early on when they were pouring the asphalt, and I think you may have seen some of those photos.
We'll go out and check it out, sir.
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Cox.
Thanks, Rick. Okay. Without objection, ordinance number 854-2020 stands approved. Ordinance number 855-2020 by Council members Johnson and Kelly by Department of Request, authorizing the purchase by one or more contracts of property insurance for the First Energy Stadium for years 2021 and 22 for the Department of Public Works for a period of up to 2 years. Director?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As everyone knows, that the Cleveland Browns Stadium is owned by the city of Cleveland. We lease it to the Cleveland Browns organization. We have to put insurance, we have to carry insurance on that building. That building was reassessed this past year, and it came back in an amount of close to $1 billion, being worth $1 billion. Insurance for this year, for the contract that we put out on the street was 300. They came back with a $387,000 price for that insurance, and so we will be looking to get that insurance group. It's Highland Group Insurance, the same vendor we've had. So that is the cost of replacing and doing other things in the stadium that we have to do.
All right, thanks, Director. Anybody got any questions about the insurance? Without objection, ordinance 855-2020 stands approved. All right, we're finished, Director. Anybody have anything?
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry, did we do 8/21/2020? The Convention and Visitors Bureau?
No, I don't have it.
I know that was on our agenda.
Was it?
Mr. Chairman, we did 8/21, which is the.
Oh, we did do 8/21. Okay, thank you.
We did 8/21. What
Yeah,
did
was it the way sign, the wayfinding sign?
Okay, thank you. All right, thank
you. Yeah,
okay. Anybody else? Okay, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Thanks, Director.